Hi everyone, welcome back to Peaceful Oracle. This is your weekly Oracle card reading, and as usual, I will also go into every sign and pick out an Oracle card and an Animal Totem card as well for this coming week of September 6th to September 12th. So as I'm shuffling the cards, I was picking up on a lot of information. So I don't know about the rest of you, but I know that I've definitely been feeling the energies of September already. So some of the things that were coming through for me was your sleep might be hindered. So some of you may find that you're sleeping more than usual, less than usual. Some of you may be waking up exactly at the right time, not the right time, the exact same time every morning. Like for me, just like clockwork, I've been waking up at 5 o'clock every morning. I don't know. It's just my eyes open at 5. It's weird. So I think that some dreams might be very vivid as well. So if you're having like vivid dreams, I'm even hearing the word premonitions. So your intuition may be very high this month for some of you. You may be really, really tuned in. And I'm hearing from Spirit that journaling or writing down your dreams or anything that you're sensing or feeling really strongly is going to be really good, because there might be a lot coming through this month for some of you. So you may not remember like everything that you're picking up on because it's just maybe kind of a really big download. So this is going to be a good month to keep a little journal or a little pocketbook next to your bed. When you wake up in the morning, just jot down a few points of things that you dreamt or felt or anything that felt really significant for you. So that's going to be really highlighted the month of September. There's also going to be a need to really focus on the first 4 chakras, so the root, sacral, solar, and heart. Okay, so I'm hearing that it's going to be like shaken, like the energy is going to be shaken. So that's why it's really important to ground yourself. So kind of focusing on the root, depending on where you're feeling the most congestion. So the congestion is going to move throughout the body. And so wherever you're feeling a congestion in whichever energy center, I'm hearing from Spirit, just like take the day to kind of dedicate to that energy center. So today I'm going to, just work on my grounding, and then, maybe another day you may really feel inspired to focus on your sacral chakra, your creativity, unblocking yourself there. So it's just a lot of stuff that's coming out to the surface. Truth is going to be a really big theme this month as well. So everybody's individual personal truth alongside, universal truths. So it's also going to be a month of cutting through the masks, cutting through the false beliefs, cutting through false personas. So some of you maybe also be able to see through people's false personas or false selves, false identities within the identity that people, are portraying and really want you to believe. So that's going to be highlighted as well this month. So if you're feeling just kind of tired or, a little off balance, just kind of go with it. It might kind of just be that way this month, and you're not alone in that. You are picking up on a lot of shifting, a lot of uncovering is a word I'm hearing, uncovering of truths, it's just going to really shake off some layers. And so it's just take it day by day, and you're not alone. You're not crazy. You're not, there's nothing wrong with you. You're just really feeling the intensity of this month. I really feel like October might be a bit chiller, but September feels like the energy is strong, in good ways as well. So some of you may also sense that in the month of September that you are a lot more clear about your path because of all the stuff that's just being sloughed away. I feel like in the month of September, you'll feel much more clear about who you want in your life, what path you want to go down, where you want to delegate your energy towards. And I'm seeing like categories, like placing certain things in different categories. For example, if you have, let's say several interests in your life, let's say you're good at several different things, you're not really sure which path to go down. I feel like in the month of September, you'll have a better idea, at least, of a path to walk down and place as your career. And then maybe some things you may choose to keep as like a side hobby, or like you'll just have that clarity. Or same with friendships or relationships. Like, do I want this person or do I not want this person in my life? So just kind of cutting to the chase is going to be something that comes up for many of us this month, as well as getting to the point, getting to the chase. And just there's like no more time or no more room for kind of prolonging things that that at some point we have to face. Like if there's a relationship in your life, it doesn't have to be romantic. It could be even with like a friend or, a coworker or something, where you're just like, I've put up with this for so long and I just can't do it anymore. So that kind of thing. I'm hearing abrupt endings. So some things might come to an abrupt ending as well. So just hang in there this month. It's going to be a ride for sure. Okay, so let's finally get into these cards. September 6th to September 12th. What do we have coming up for the beginning of the week of September 6th to September 12th? And I'm using a different oracle deck as well going forward. Okay, so I'm hearing getting busy. This is a card of getting busy, getting to work. There is high energy towards this in this card, I'm feeling. And I'm seeing just like people getting to work, like you're ready to work on your projects. You're ready to overcome your fears. And even if the fears are there, or you have some hesitancy, or you have, your reservations or insecurities that come up, I'm seeing many of you being able to dodge them, or being able to kind of go around them, walk around them, and to kind of just keep walking, keep moving. So keep the key expression I'm feeling, or the key word or emotion that I'm feeling is like, I don't even know what it's called, but it's like not distracting yourself, I guess, with your emotions of insecurities and holding yourself back. This is not going to be a time to hold yourself back, I think is what I'm trying to say. It's like you're ready to face whatever comes your way. It's like, I'm not going to procrastinate anymore. I'm not going to delay anymore. And whatever comes up, and I'll deal with it when I get there. So that kind of thing. So let's see what we have coming up in the middle of the week here. For September 6th to September 12th. Wow. So a very diligent, focused week for sure. Focused on your goals, focused on what you want to accomplish. Some of you may also feel like you're going at things alone, that you're kind of alone in your vision, that maybe some people may not see where you're headed, or what you're in, like, what are you trying to accomplish, or what are you trying to do? Like, there's a method to your madness, but maybe there might be people in your life that don't understand it, may not agree with it, that kind of thing. So it's going to be important to focus not just on your projects and accomplishing things, but also staying focused on believing in yourself, because if people come in and try to distract you, then, you're clear about where you want to be and who you want to be, or where you want to go. So any of these outside distractions will kind of clue you into who you want to keep around, or who you want to let go of. So this month is not so much about, can I get other people to understand me, or can I get other people to be on board? It's more of, you're either on board or you're not. And if you're not, then tell me so I can plan accordingly. So that kind of thing. So you're either, it's like a all or nothing kind of thing this week. It has a very very deliberate and almost, I don't know, cutthroat, not cutthroat, just very focused, I guess. I'm going to use that word, focused. And I also see that you're being guided. I see that you may even feel that even if you kind of you can feel maybe a struggle in confidence, overriding that is this inner knowing that you're being guided to the right thing. So you may not always know why you're doing, you may not know, you know why you're doing, but you may not be able to explain it or prove it to other people. So it's kind of like, you're just going to have to trust me on this one. I just know. And you may even question yourself sometimes, like, am I really doing the right thing? But then there's this deeper part of you. There is a more like a divine part of you that just knows, and that is coming more to the forefront. And it's almost like the ego or the other parts of you are kind of taking a backseat. So even if those distracting thoughts or self-limiting beliefs may pop up here and there, I'm not seeing that for many of you that they're going to really play a pivotal role in whether you accomplish things or get further down your path or not. I'm really seeing that I'm hearing the word tenacious, and it feels like you are just ready to just forge ahead in your path, and there's like no stopping you, which is really cool. I mean, it's so determined. So let's see what we have coming up for the end of the week here. So you may find that you get a lot done this week. You have the energy for it. You have the mindset for it. This is a good week to get things done. This is a good week to accomplish things. Wow, beautiful. I heard with the blessings card, take chances. Take chances. Like, even if you can't see that, I don't know where this is going to go. I'm hearing with the blessings card, it's like, just do it. Like, just try it. I mean, if you have an idea for something or something inspires you, just kind of go with it and see where it goes. Like, if you have a vision for a project or a piece of artwork or something unique, something that really feels like it's coming from an inspired place in you, I'm hearing that go down those paths that you may not have explored before, or maybe paths that you have not really allowed. Maybe you've dipped your toe in the water, but I'm hearing, oh my gosh. Okay. So I'm hearing from Spirit, take the plunge. So take the plunge into whatever it is you think you're supposed to kind of follow those curiosity, follow your intuition here. So it feels like September is going to be a huge month for intuition and trusting your intuition. And it's kind of like Spirit's just saying, just trust me on this. Yes, you're not going to maybe see the whole way forward, but just keep walking. Don't stop moving. So it's really powerful, really, actually. Okay, so yeah, this is going to be a pretty intense week. It kind of feels like we hit the ground running this month, and I think that some of us are already feeling it now that we're already into September and we're already feeling it. But this coming week is going to, and the month is going to move quickly as well. So I feel like we're going to be in October before we know it. So there's not going to be a whole lot of time. So don't put things off to the last minute, because time is going to go by fast this month. So yeah, just kind of hang on to your seats there is what I'm sensing. Okay, so I'm going to move into picking an oracle card and an animal totem for each month. And we will start with Capricorn here. Okay, Capricorn. What do we need to know for Capricorn? Okay, what do we need to know for Capricorn for the for the week of September 6th to September 12th? Oh, nice. So I heard collaboration with this card. It could also be love. I mean, normally this card does symbolize union, coming together. It could be even weddings. it could also be getting together with friends, that kind of thing. But the first word I heard was collaboration. And I heard like there's this birthing of a project, or maybe some of you are teaming up with another person, and so you're becoming business partners and you are creating something of spiritual significance, something that really resonates deep within your authentic expression of who you really are. So some of you may be really tapping into a gift of yours, or something that really, and what I'm hearing is some of you may be doing something that other people or the world or your audience will really resonate with. So there's kind of like this mirroring aspect to something you're doing this week, Capricorn, or something that you're delving into. Something about a reflection is what I'm hearing. Like there's this reflecting back of something deeper and more authentic. So maybe some of you are putting out content, or some of you are writing something or creating something where another person looks at it and they feel seen, and they feel understood. And there's this resonance. There's this resonance with you and your audience, or whoever you're presenting something to. And in return, you will feel seen by that. It's like this mutual cyclical thing, like this energy that's kind of churning between two things. So it's really interesting because I've never felt that message before with this card, but there's something really important about partnerships and collaboration and being seen and feeling seen this week. So some of you are really doing something that really contributes beautifully back into society, and it's going to really kind of help elevate other people. So let's see what your power animal is for this week, Capricorn. What is Capricorn's power animal for the week of September 6th to September 12th? Also, Capricorn, I'm hearing that this week, I'm hearing the words take a back seat. I'm not sure what that means. What I'm feeling is kind of like if there is an argument. So I'm feeling like there might be like an argument, or I'm seeing like there might be some kind of, if you come across like drama, or, two people fighting, or a group of people fighting, or something like that. And this may only resonate with some of you. I'm hearing like, don't get involved. Like just take a back seat. Don't insert yourself. Something like keep your energy peaceful and keep your energy centered and grounded, because you're going to need it, is what I'm hearing. So for any of you, if you're kind of feeling like there's drama between some people in your life or just around you in your vicinity, I'm hearing like don't insert yourself or don't get involved. So I'm not sure how that plays out for some of you, but Spirit wanted me to include that in there. Okay, power animal for Capricorn. Ooh, nice. Be peace. Yeah, so I love that, because that kind of just confirms what I just picked up on, was to keep your energy peaceful this month, and to not contribute or, pour, I'm hearing, don't pour gas on the fire. I'm hearing that you may kind of, okay, so you may want to enter into an argument or something with the intention of making peace, like trying to bring the two people together, or some people who are quarreling, trying to kind of be the mediator. And what I'm hearing is like, just kind of don't involve yourself, is what I'm hearing. So, and just allow that energy to play out the way it needs to play out, because you may end up getting sucked into the toxic energy, and it's just unnecessary for you to experience that. So I hope that was helpful for some of you. Okay, Capricorn, that is your message for this week. Moving on to Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius, what do we have coming up for you in the week of September 6th to September 12th? What do we have coming up for Aquarius in the week of September 6th to September 12th? Cleaning house. Nice. Okay. I'm actually hearing some of you might be moving. Some of you might also be packing up. Like I saw more of a packing, like you're packing up your house and getting ready to move somewhere else. And maybe some of you were moving this week. Maybe some of you are just getting rid of a whole bunch of stuff in your home and redecorating, bringing in new furniture. But it did feel a movement. There also may be you may hear of news this week that, oh, we have to move. So that energy is there. There's something needing to be cleansed out, cleared out. There's definitely something is over. Like some period era is finished. It's over and it's kind of ready to move on to something else. And this feels like a physical thing where you're kind of picking up and moving out of a home or moving out of a city or state, something like that. So this kind of feels actually a bit more significant than just kind of a spring cleaning. This feels more of like a big haul of we're actually going to just pick up and move here. Okay, Aquarius, what is your power animal for the week of September 6th to September 12th? I'm also hearing with the cleaning house that there is a need for attention on your health. So that's going to be important. You may spend some extra time. Some of you may be fasting, is what I'm hearing. Like there may be a need for detox, like detoxing, or just fasting. There's a need for kind of revamping or resetting. It's like resetting the system. Okay, what is Aquarius's power? Wow, beautiful. You see clearly now and take the lead. So I'm also hearing with the you see clearly now with the owl spirit that this is also, this feels like it's also tied in with moving out of a place. So there may be a place where it just doesn't resonate with you anymore, or you're starting to pick up on that. You're maybe starting to pick up on a sense that, the place where you're living, maybe it's the people, maybe it's the culture, the environment, maybe there's regulations, there's something where, it's not fitting. And it's I'm kind of seeing with the owl spirit that Aquarius, you might be the one who's really, really tuned in this month and really needing to, and you're kind of seeing far ahead, like way before maybe other people are able to detect it around you. So maybe Aquarius, you might be having those dreams, or you may be having those premonitions, or being able to kind of sense that something is off or something is not right. And I think that taking the lead also ties in with that, where you're able to kind of see far into some things that may be coming our way or coming your way that maybe the people around you don't know yet or can't see it yet. So you're going to have to, I'm kind of feeling like you're going to be using your voice quite a bit this week and maybe even this month, that you're going to be communicating with a lot of the people around you, explaining, how things are changing for you, or, no, we need to kind of, maybe in your family, you're becoming the leader, or you're trying to convince other people of something. So yeah, there's this spotlight on you, Aquarius, especially this week, where you're kind of sharing some of the things. You may also that just might be it, that you're just sharing what you're sensing with people. And you may be around individuals who are really listening and really take your advice into to heart, and they really admire or they respect what you have to say. So you may have the stage, you may have the spotlight this week. That may be something that really plays a big role. And there's also this sense of independence to you as well, Aquarius. You may be kind of, and also a lot of times, when we're kind of having to take the lead on something, we're alone in it. But you're comfortably alone in it. There's an inner knowing and a bigger sense of something bigger that you're able to pick up on, that you're going to be able to guide other people through maybe a difficult time or through significant shifts and changes. So, okay, Aquarius, it's a pretty important week, I feel like, for you. All right, thank you, Aquarius. Moving on to Pisces. Okay, Pisces, what do we have coming up for you the week of September 6th to September 12th? Commitment, and then we also have this. Okay, so some of you might be experiencing a bit of I heard ghosting. So maybe some of you are being ghosted by someone. Maybe some of you recently went on a date, or you're in a relationship where it's kind of up in the air right now. I'm not really sure what's going on. Maybe you or someone that you're involved with it feels like there's kind of this standstill with commitment. So maybe someone not committing. Some of you may also be afraid to commit to a job or a career or a different path, something like that. So there's something about being on the fence this week or even this month. You may be really in contemplation mode this month. We're really kind of thinking about things and really tapping into, what do I really want from my life, and making sure I make, I want to make sure I make the right choices, especially something long term. So I really feel like you're going to be in your head a lot, especially this week, Pisces. Okay, what is Pisces? There we go. That's your power animal here. Time to collaborate. Interesting. Okay, so this kind of feels also with work as well. So if you have, maybe some of you are, okay. So what I heard was some of you may also be coming out of a deep freeze with work, is what I'm hearing. So maybe if some of you are feeling like work hasn't been working out, or you're waiting for some opportunities and they're not coming, this may be a good week, or you may actually meet some people that you can collaborate with in terms of work. What I'm also seeing is that you may also be working with people to help resolve a situation or a problem. So it doesn't necessarily have to be about a career or a job, but there could be just an obstacle in your life where you are turning to others to help you figure out the pieces. So it may be something where, you can't figure out on your own, and maybe you're asking your friends or you're asking family to kind of help you out. So this is going to be a good week for that. This is going to be a good week to lean on other people. This is going to be a good week to ask for help and to help you put those puzzle pieces together that the ants are kind of playing around with. It does significantly actually feel like this is more about a personal issue more than it is with work. It feels more like you're going to other people for advice, or maybe other people for what can you talk to this person for me type thing. Or you maybe even just, discussing something that's going on with you in your life, and you find that someone lends really good advice, or, gives their insight into what you think you should do, and you find it quite helpful. That kind of helps you come out of a lull, or kind of like a place of feeling stuck or not really sure where to go or what to do from here. So lean on other people this week. And if you find that, and kind of really give people the time to really offer their advice to you, because they may say something that really sparks your interest or really offers a good solution to something you might be grappling with, Pisces. So very nice. Awesome. Okay, Pisces, thank you so much. Moving on to Aries. Okay, Aries, what do we have? Ooh, I have some cards jumping. Okay, Aries, what do we have coming up for you in the week of September 6th to September 12th? We have coming up for Aries. Very beautiful. Peaks of joy. And I remember when I did your monthly, Aries, that your cards were really good, actually. You had a good reading. So lots of opportunities for joy and happiness. There is something spiritual about this month for you, Aries. Maybe you're just really inspired. I feel like you may just kind of have a lot more energy. That's what I'm hearing, is that you may wake up in the mornings with more energy than usual. I feel like, Aries, you are, and I'm hearing this actually, it's maybe happening unconsciously. So even if you're not actively sitting there and meditating and working through a bunch of stuff, you may just be unconsciously, like your soul is just kind of shedding because it's time. So I'm hearing like divine timing for you, for some of you, where you're, it's time to kind of let some things go. It kind of feels like there's some natural, gradual changes, not even gradual. It kind of feels very fast and happening quickly, actually. But it's all very natural, as if it's like your time, like you don't really have to do much. You just kind of have to let the process happen. And you're kind of in this place of just surrendering to whatever wants to go or whatever wants to release out of you. There's something very spiritual about this month and this week for you, Aries. So yeah, so enjoy that and take advantage of it. I think that you're going to enjoy this month. Actually, I think it's going to be right up your alley. It feels like that's what I'm hearing. There's something about this month and this week where you're really going to be able to feel like you're in your element and feel like there's going to be areas or things opening up for you where you get to shine. And I think that being able to do that, or being able to experience that, is going to bring a lot of joy and happiness to you, Aries. It really feels like there's like an upliftment here for you as well. So clear out the clutter. Wow. Okay. So that is your message. That is your power animal for this week, the frog spirit. So I kind of feel like the power is in your hands. I feel like you feel as though you have a sense of control, a sense of balance to your life, and that it doesn't really feel like you're losing your grounding or anything like that. It feels pretty solid. And you may find that people are just kind of shifting in and out of your life and you're okay with it. You know, it doesn't really seem like you're putting too much of a resistance or trying to figure out why things are happening the way they are. You really seem like you're in the flow. So that's a good place to be, especially when so many things are shifting and changing outside of us, when we don't really have too much control over things. So this is going to be, I like this week for you, Aries. It's going to be a good week. So you can look forward to that. Wonderful. Thank you, Aries. Moving on to Taurus. Okay, Taurus, what do we have coming up for you the week of September 6th to September 12th? Rock bottom. Taurus, did you have this card last week? I feel like you did. Not sure. Interesting. I'm going to pick out another one here for you. Can we clarify the rock? Okay. Magic prayer. Okay, so there's a completion coming up for you, Taurus. It's like you're in the waiting room, you know, and you're ready to just kind of, for things to open up here. So what can Taurus do about being in the waiting room? Because sometimes that can be an uncomfortable position. And I feel like, Taurus, you're really kind of putting out these manifestation or these wishes, like wanting something to come about or something to happen. So it kind of feels like there is this lull, or you're kind of waiting in between, you know, you're waiting for your ships to come in, or you're waiting for something to happen or to take place. but there is a door there's like a door approaching you is what I can see. It's like kind of heading your way, and it's like a really beautiful wooden door. Looks magical, and it's kind of it's coming towards you. So it's like a waiting period, Taurus. I think that's what you're in, and I think you've kind of been in that place for a while. So I don't think there's going to be too much change this week for you. I don't feel like it's going to be too intense. It just kind of feels like you're waiting, and Spirit's making you wait, and you're kind of in between things, but I can see something approaching you, and it's like a gateway or a door, like you're, and I feel like with the magic prayer, what I'm hearing is that Spirit has heard your prayer or heard your wishes, can hear what it is that you're wanting, and Spirit's working on bringing it to you. It's just taking some time. In its own like divine timing, when the time is right, it'll arrive in front of you. That's what I'm hearing. Okay, what is Taurus's power animal for this week? Interesting. Life is speeding up. So I'm hearing like, maybe the things that you're wanting will come a lot faster than what you realize. It's kind of like, it did feel like the door was like right behind you, like this gateway or this portal into another stage or another, like you're transitioning into something new or different. It feels like the energy it needs to finish shifting, or it needs to finish kind of like the wheel needs to finish turning before we can, it's kind of like being, they're showing me an image of being on an elevator. It's like you're in between floors. So we just got to wait till we reach your floor so you can get out, so the door can open. So that kind of thing. But it is moving, and things are happening pretty rapidly here. And I feel like once your door opens, or once you kind of find, it'll feel like you kind of found the pathway that opens up for you. And once you do, it feels like, Taurus, you're just going to go running on it. Like it's not going to be, you'll know when it shows up. And when it does, you'll just kind of charge on ahead. So you're ready. I really kind of feel like there's a little bit maybe of an impatience in you. I can sense that there's like, come on, when is it going to come? When is it going to come? It's definitely coming. And I really like that life is speeding up. The antelope spirit is a message of, it's coming quickly. So it's going to be here before you know it. So I feel like Spirit wants me to say that it's acknowledging that it realizes you're waiting for something, and it knows that. So it's like your prayers have been heard. Okay, Taurus, thank you for tuning in. Moving on to Gemini. Okay, Gemini, what do we have coming up for you the week of September 6th to September 12th? What do we have coming up for Gemini this week of September 6th to September 12th? Bone collector. Beautiful. Okay, so I'm hearing memories here. So some of you may actually take a trip down memory lane this week. There may be some things that bring up things that you might have forgotten, and something kind of triggers a memory from the past, maybe from your childhood. I'm feeling childhood. And it might be something that you haven't thought of in a long time. It may be something that sets off like a chain reaction, something that kind of helps you to look back at a situation in hindsight and see it in a different perspective or a different angle. So, and it could show up in a dream, or it could show up just in, your thoughts, or maybe someone says something. You could also run into someone from your past that brings back memories from, when you were younger, or something from your past. You may have a reconnection with someone that is, I'm hearing, like estranged. So maybe some of you may reconnect with some estranged family members, or something that you haven't seen in a long time or talked to in a long time, or childhood friends or lovers, something like that. I'm also hearing teachers. So some of you may have to reconnect with like a childhood teacher, something like that. So there's a huge reconnection to something from the past this week. And it feels like that reconnection will trigger, this, your eyes will open to something different, and it will kind of open up your life and help you to see things differently. So it might also help you to let go of something that you didn't realize you were holding on to. And that's always a great thing, because you may feel lighter, and you may find that letting go of something that we're unconsciously holding on to may help you to move forward in a different way in the future. It may open up some doors for you, some opportunities that some things that we've been holding on to are blocking. Because sometimes that happens when we have connections or attachments to certain experiences or even people, even if they're not really that much in our life, but just the impact or the effect that they've had on our life, kind of creates this imprint. And sometimes that imprint, it does affect in a subtle, below the surface kind of way, how our life tends to go, or maybe some of the patterns that we attract, or some of the experiences we tend to encounter a lot in our life, to keep that, some repetitive lessons that keep showing up. So maybe some illumination is going to be really significant for you this week or even this month, Gemini. So really good message. I love that. That one was probably the most clear, I feel like. Okay, let's pick out your animal totem for this week of September 6th. Okay, we got 2. See the big picture, okay, and let it shine. Beautiful. So I'm hearing freedom with let it shine and see the big picture. So again, kind of going back and seeing something from a different perspective or a different height is what I'm seeing. I'm being drawn to the giraffe spirit and how tall they are. So seeing something from the top, something from a different perspective, maybe taking the high road, in a situation. And maybe with others, it's like, let's let bygones be bygones, or let's agree to disagree. So some kind of resolution where you're not really going to maybe allow yourself to get swept up in semantics or get swept up in who's right and who's wrong. I feel like, Gemini, you're just going to take that high road, and you're going to see something from a different perspective, which will help you let it go. And I feel like being able to do that may also clear up your energy, like I mentioned before, where you're able to see. I think that with the peacock spirit, what I'm seeing is that you might also be able to learn about yourself a little bit better as well through some of these experiences that are coming back to you. You may also be able to understand, for example, if you're thinking about something from your past, from your childhood, and then you're kind of seeing like, oh, no wonder I did this because of that. And no wonder that led to this because of that. And it could be something that was always a mystery to you. Like, I don't know why I'm like this, or I don't know why I tend to do this one thing. But now there's some clarity around who you are. And I think with that comes forgiveness for yourself, kind of giving yourself a break. If there are some mistakes you felt like you made, or, you felt like you went down a wrong path. And as you reflect on your past, you could be looking back and being like, well, that makes sense why I would do something like that. I guess I can forgive myself for that because, why wouldn't, or maybe anyone would, might have reacted in that way if it happened to them, that kind of thing. So there could be a level of forgiveness that you have on yourself, or you give yourself this week, which is really nice. So kind of healing and illuminating this week. So pretty cool, Gemini. Awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in. Moving into Cancer. Okay, Cancer. What is your message for September 6th to September 12th? Cancer, I see you enjoying yourself. You're having fun with something. Yeah, you're being in the moment. I really love this card, Spirit of Place. And this is just allowing yourself to let things be as they are, It's allowing yourself to enjoy your life, allowing yourself to be in the moment, and to not try to fix things or try to control things. This is you being in a place of freedom, in a place of expression, and feeling light, allowing yourself to play, allowing yourself to really kind of be in the moment is what I'm feeling. I think that's a really good way of summing it up here. So let me see if there's any other messages with that card as I'm shuffling your power animal for Cancer. So some of you may be hearing or listening or reading stories, specifically feeling like fantasy stories. So maybe some of you are kind of in a general sense, if that's not the case, it could just be maybe more of a fantastical kind of week. So maybe some of you are, you watch a movie that is more fantasy based or read a book that's kind of fantasy themed, something like that. There's something about fantasy. And maybe some of you, I'm hearing that some of you are kind of in that line of work. So maybe some of you are artists and that is your medium, or that's kind of like your theme of your artwork is this very fantasy type artwork. Something like that, something very creative and colorful and expressive. So that's going to be pretty neat. Know your worth. It kind of feels like there's a unique, authentic expression of yourself this week as well. And I think that this month, it's almost like you're becoming more bold and you're becoming more brave with putting yourself out there, Cancer. I'm also seeing that you might be attracting attention, that others may be noticing you. That with the skunk spirit, it's kind of like you're being more bold or being very like telling the world, here I am, this is who I am. You either like it or you don't. And I don't really care which way, right? So it's kind of like this unapologetic expression of yourself, and I also feel, I'm hearing the word empowerment. So some of you maybe feel emboldened or empowered this month or this week. And I feel like there's something some of you might want to put out into the world. Maybe there is something you're working on that you really want to show people or show the world. And maybe you're kind of working on building up this expression and stepping into that. I'm also hearing the word confirmation. So some of you may also feel confirmed in yourself. Like you may kind of receive compliments this week from other people, or you may feel, or you may receive, you may receive gratitude, someone coming up to you and expressing how grateful they are for what you've done for them, or, the impact that you're having on other people's lives or something like that. Because Cancer, you have such a nurturing, sweet, caring energy to you that I'm not surprised if you are, out there caring for people and doing things for others and holding space for them and that kind of thing. So I'm kind of feeling in this week or in this month, there might be a lot of appreciation and gratitude coming your way. And it may help you feel confirmed in your path. It revalidates why you're doing what you're doing, and you feel more empowered in your path to just keep going or to even grow in what you're doing. So very beautiful, a beautiful week ahead and beautiful month ahead, Cancer. Very nice. Okay, thank you so much, Cancer. Moving on to Leo. Ooh. Okay, Leo, unexpected visitors for the week of September 6th to September 12th. Seems pretty strong because I didn't really even have to shuffle the deck that much. Some of you might experience a surprise pregnancy, is what I heard, unexpected visitor. So congratulations if that's for you. And for others of you, some of you might also be planning a surprise trip with others. There's something about surprises this week or even this month. And you may find that you're being led to, different experiences that you never really might have thought you would have for yourself. So there's something definitely opening your eyes or kind of having, kind of like life happening to you, but in a good way, like you're not really necessarily looking to, meet someone new, and you kind of walk down the street and you really, you make a new friend, or you have an unexpected experience with someone you just met, something like that. So kind of, I'm hearing just go with the flow this week, and let spirit kind of bring some surprises to you Some solutions to issues is also what I'm hearing. You may find like an out-of-the-box solution to something that you may just kind of think of while you're working and on the side, or like in the shower, like sometimes we get the best ideas in the shower, right? So that kind of thing. So be prepared for things kind of just being revealed to you or laid out in front of you. And it's your choice whether you want to take that opportunity or grab it, or if that's something that you want to pass on. So be available for opportunities coming your way this week, which is really, really great. I love that. Very nice. Awesome, Leo. Okay. Moving on to Libra. Oh, I'm sorry. Not Libra. Virgo. I'm sorry, Virgo. And Virgo, it's your birthday as well. So it's a birthday month. So happy birthday to any of those who have a birthday this month and this week, September 6th to September 12th. What do we have coming up for Virgo? Coming together. So I'm hearing celebration. And pick another one here. Interesting. So there's a dynamic in relationships this week for you, Virgo. And it may be that, some coming together. I believe that I picked up on this message for your monthly as well, where you may be around people, but there may be something about you, Virgo, where you kind of just want to be within by yourself. And I think that part of it could be that as you're around other people, you may start to feel triggered, or you may find that certain people that you usually are around, or you may feel like you have to be around certain people, like certain family members, like you kind of have to show up for certain things when you really don't want to. So there is kind of a need for balance. I'm hearing balance with the come together card. There is a need for you to balance your personal space, being very assertive with letting people know that, if you kind of need some space from people, then, being able to feel like it's okay to vocalize that. I think that I'm hearing that there's something you're afraid to do. So maybe you're afraid to speak up, afraid to tell the truth, out of fear that you might hurt someone's feelings, that kind of thing. So you may be challenged in that way this week to do that, Virgo. So that's going to be a central theme for you this week, I think, is to kind of notice that certain people may trigger you, or certain people may kind of just make you feel uncomfortable. And it could be something that's been there for a long time. It could be something that where you usually just tolerate it, or you put up with it, but maybe this week or this month you don't want to, it's not something that you no longer want to do. There is an undertone for this month in general of truth and being very truthful with ourselves about, how we really feel about people, how we really feel about our life, that kind of thing. So there's not a whole lot of room to really trick ourselves into thinking that we're okay with something when we're really not. So that's going to be something that may come up for you, Virgo, this week, is to be honest about your boundaries and setting those boundaries. And also it's an opportunity for you to take a look at some of the things that really, really do bother you, but you kind of convince yourself they don't. So some things might come to the surface where you can't ignore something anymore. Because goblins, the card is usually, kind of these, it could be like our shadow parts where we kind of, it's skeletons in the closet where we don't really want to look at it, but it's like lurking there. It's something that it's there. We just don't want to acknowledge it because it could be just unpleasant or something like that. But it may be just time. Some things may be time to kind of see the truth behind some of the things we might have swept under the rug, or that kind of thing. So let's see, what is your animal totem for this week, Virgo? September 6th to September 12th. What is Virgo's? I just sensed the swimming pool. I don't know, is really random. I know maybe some of you are going swimming. I know it's September, but maybe some of you are swimmers. something about the pool, something about swimming. I all of a sudden tasted chlorine, like when you're, sometimes when you get a little bit when you're swimming. So maybe some of you are swimmers or something like that. I'm not sure how that relates, but maybe that rings true for some of you. Very random, I know. Okay, Virgo, what is your power animal for this week of September 6th to September 12th? Clear out the clutter. Yeah, so this card keeps coming up a lot lately. And I think that's just because, again, a lot of things that we need to take a look at and be honest with ourselves. What needs to go, what needs to stay. I'm also hearing clear out your mind as well. You maybe just have like a lot of ruminating thoughts, and clear out your heart space as well, is what I'm hearing. So maybe your heart and your mind may play a really strong role this week for you, where you may have a lot resting on your heart and a lot resting on your mind. It could also be you're worried about something or you're ruminating about something, and there could be a decision that's weighing heavily on your heart, where you're kind of being required to face something or required to tell the truth about something. And the prolonging of it could also be affecting like your mind and your heart here. So I am feeling and sensing that there's an urge to confront something, or to have that conversation, or to even like tell the truth to yourself, even maybe first. Like if it's not time yet to confront someone or something, maybe just being honest with yourself about how you really feel, like journaling it or writing it down. Sorry for the motorcycle. And just kind of acknowledging it to yourself about something. So interesting, Virgo. I hope you have a good week ahead. Thank you so much, Virgo. Moving on to Libra. Okay, Libra. What do we have coming up for you in the week of September 6th to September 12th? Wow, okay. I have quite a few cards fall out for you, Libra. Slow and steady, into the unknown, details, and gentle gardener. Okay, projects is what I'm hearing. This kind of feels like career and work and projects. So for some of you, I am seeing that maybe some of you are in school. Some of you just seem to, you're kind of just, some of you might have just started school. So that's kind of what you're focusing on this week. You're focusing on, it's like getting to class and reacclimatizing to a schedule, and getting to know your classes or the material, something like that. It's kind of feels like there's this new stage or new beginning that you're kind of walking into. And there is this need to kind of go slow at it. Like, don't rush yourself. Don't try to take on more than you can handle, because you're trying to quickly get to the end goal, is what I'm hearing, Libra. So take things at a steady pace and don't overwhelm yourself, because what I'm hearing from Spirit is when you take on too much, you may burn yourself out really fast. And so it kind of actually hinders you down the road. So it's okay to allow things to go a little bit slower than what you want, if it kind of helps you to balance out your energies. I'm also hearing don't compare yourself to other people. You may be looking out and kind of comparing, and many, like in a way where like you're kind of looking at, oh, they're so much farther than me and I need to catch up to them, that kind of thing. There's also an important message of having the right intentions as well. So make sure that the reasons why you're doing things are because they are for you and for your life, and not because you're in competition with another person. So there's something really important about kind of staying tethered to something within you, like inside you. Like, for example, if you were in college, and you are picking a class or a major that really doesn't resonate with you, but you're doing it because you feel like you have to. So it's a little bit out of alignment with what you really want for yourself. Like you're not the classes where you have to like take them to graduate, but just kind of like something that you kind of feel like you're forcing yourself to do just because someone else wants you to do it, or because your friends are doing it and you won't fit in, if, that kind of thing. I'm just using that as an example. I mean, maybe that might apply to some of you, but that's just an example. So something like that, where make sure your intentions are in alignment with what you really want, and what really resonates with you. Because I'm feeling that there is something about doing that will carry you much farther, because you're honoring yourself and you're honoring your gifts, or you're honoring your path that really sparks your interest, and it will kind of feed this. I'm hearing the word innovation. So maybe some of you are, and I'm also hearing the word engineering. So maybe some of you are engineers, maybe some of you are majoring in that, or maybe some of you like to, I'm seeing like an inventor, like if you like to invent things, create things, build things, that kind of thing. So do things that have your unique print on it, like your signature on it. And don't, I think like as an artist, it's like you can, if some of you are artists or artists in that way, that you can use inspiration from other people to kind of help you jumpstart, to figure out where your expression is. But there's something here about staying true to yourself, and because that will take you far. There's something about taking you far with doing your own thing here for you, Libra. Really cool message. I love that. Okay, let's pick out your animal totem here. Yeah, and I'm also hearing like you don't have to play by the rules all the time. It's kind of like I'm hearing that popular quote or saying of, first you have to learn the rules in order to know which ones to break, right? Like that is kind of that's what good artists do, in my opinion, at least. It's kind of like you first learn the basics and then you kind of put your own spin on it. So that feels like that's where this message is going here. So just trust you do. And I'm hearing like you do have something to offer. Like you do have like your own authentic expression towards something. And I think that allowing yourself to go slow and steady, and to kind of tend to your garden, tend to that every day, and kind of practicing the craft every day will help it will take on its own form and shape, and you'll get to watch that happen. So just be patient with yourself and allow yourself to enjoy that process. So really cool. Very nice. Okay, Libra, what is your power animal? Ooh. Okay, lots of cards here. Okay, that's way too many cards here. Let me do another shuffle, which is way too many. Oh my goodness, this card. The frog really wants to be center stage. This reading says a lot of clarity, a lot of clearing out the clutter. And this card just keeps coming up for so many signs. So yeah, this month is going to be a lot about having the clear vision. And I really like how the word clarity here is in the details cards, kind of turned upside down. It says clarity. What does it say in the important notes is what it says. It says clarity and important notes. So yeah, this is going to be an important time to also be clear in your thoughts about, what direction you want to take something in. Or it could also be, what I'm hearing is you're going to be kind of playing around with different things to see where you fit. In your career, in your work, whatever it is that you're working on, there's something about playing around with different things and seeing what resonates the best with you. And by doing that, you'll also be able to know where you want to go or what kind of opportunities you want to take. It may also help you to know like what kinds of people you want to work with, what kinds of networking, like what kind of opportunities you want to take as well. I am being asked to read the message for Frog Spirit for you specifically, Libra. So let me pull out that message here real quick. Okay, Frog Spirit. Frog Spirit knows that while all the other frogs are croaking away, this is a time for you to simplify and declutter your life so you can feel content on your own lily pad. Even when life isn't creating a total cacophony, we can become drawn to the excitement of lots of noise. Then the next thing we know, our schedules and homes are cluttered with commitments we regret making and objects taking up valuable space. Even relationships need decluttering as they often become messy. Frog spirit appears to tell you to clean house, prioritize what you need, and get rid of or give away the rest so you can have some space in your day and in your head. You don't need the old stuff and its stories shouting at you about the past. Along with physical clutter, friendships are sometimes kept long past their expiration date, weighing you down with unnecessary baggage. Now is the time to let go. Whatever you need will appear when you need it, so release your grip on all that clutter that is making you feel anxious and burdened. Frog spirit wants you to reclaim your space, unencumbered by shoulds, oughts, and could have beens. Let go and jump. You are free from all of that old stuff. Really cool. I love that. It's beautiful. And especially about the part that really resonated was the friendship part, where even relationships sometimes, like certain relationships just don't make sense, in different stages of your life. Like you may find that you're around people that just all of a sudden, there's nothing left to talk about, or you're not relating or resonating on anything. So keep an eye out for that as well, which is also an indicator that you've changed a lot, or both of you have changed a lot, or, you're going in a different direction, and that's okay. And that may be part of into the unknown, that there's a lot changing, and there may be some things ending. So just stay focused on what you do know, and just allow the change and the shift to happen the way it needs to happen. So, okay, Libra, very cool message. Wonderful. Thank you, Libra. Moving on to Scorpio. Okay, Scorpio. Ooh, okay. Real fast. Unexpected visitors. I'm hearing to pick one more for you, Scorpio, for the week of September 6th to September 12th. So, Scorpio, what I'm feeling with the unexpected visitors is it doesn't really feel all that unexpected, to be honest. It feels more kind of like people watching you, spying on you, but not spying on you in like a creepy way, just kind of like people curious about what you're doing. You may be very private. I think Scorpios just in general are very private, but it just could be that people are just don't know what you're up to. You could be, especially recently, been very below the radar. And so people are kind of trying to snoop around and see what you're doing. So it could very well be like family members or friends, like people that people that are in your life, but just kind of nosy is what I'm hearing. Like people kind of nosing around, trying to see what you're up to. And I don't really see that there's any agenda, I'm not feeling like there's any kind of sinister agenda behind it. It's just that people are curious because you've been so mysterious. But that's you, Scorpio. We're mysterious, right? One ring circus. Yeah. So you're very independent, and you're always independent, right? Like that's your thing. So it's like you're but I do see you, Scorpio, kind of being a bit more bold with that independence, kind of coming out a little bit. Okay, so this is what I'm hearing. You may have come out a little bit more out of hiding. And so that could have attracted some people's attention, where it wasn't to the point where like, here, look what I'm doing, but it was enough to get people interested, if that makes sense. And almost kind of what I'm feeling that this, it's like she's poking her head in. Like she didn't completely just walk into the room, right? Like she's like poking her head in, right? And so it got people kind of curious, like, oh, well, what is she doing? I haven't seen her in a while, or I haven't seen him in a while. So what's going on here? Why aren't they telling me anything? That kind of thing. So, you may just kind of have to deal with some nosy people and people who are curious of what you're up to and don't really know or understand why you're being so secretive and that kind of thing. But Scorpio, I think that you do that because you are very careful about who you trust, and I think that the more something means to you, the more hidden you keep it. So I think that that's why, like, the things that are important to you, especially if it's like your work or relationships or things that are precious, things that you value and you don't want to lose, like, you're very careful about who you let in and who you let people know, what you're up to and that kind of thing, because you don't want it to get tainted with people's opinions and, discouragement and that kind of thing, if you felt like there was a risk of that or like a threat of that. So very protective, which is very scorpionic. Okay, so that's kind of like that message for this week, is you may just kind of sense that people are being a bit nosy in your business a little bit this week. What is your power animal for the week of September 6th to September 12th? What is Scorpio's power animal for this week? Oh my gosh. I should just keep this card out. This is funny. I think that maybe out of like the 12 signs, card came up 6 times. It's really, really funny. Okay, so again, clear out the clutter, frog spirit. So for you, Scorpio, I think with the frog, this has to do with relationships. I also think that this might also have to do with just being clear about your path. So one of the things is that you could have several things that you're working on. And it's just about reprioritizing, like, where you want to put most of your energy and what you want to keep for other things. And I think I brought that up in the general energies, is where, you may find that there's like one main thing that you want to do and other things you may just want to keep as a hobby. So that kind of thing. So being clear about, because if you have many things on the table, kind of being clear about where you want to put most of your focus and your energy and what you want to be, like, what do you want to call yourself if this is a job or, career type thing. What do you want to be known as? And then the other things can be, additional things that you are, that kind of thing. Like if you mainly see yourself as like an artist, but then you also see yourself as like, a writer or like, a tarot reader, that kind of thing. So it could be, kind of reprioritizing where things fall in the hierarchy of your priorities. And then also, it's also being very clear about relationships. So again, this week, if you find that people are kind of nosing around and people are kind of coming around and trying to figure out what you want to do, or, trying to figure out what you're doing, this may be an important week for you to be clear about your relationships and where you stand with people. Are there people that you don't trust and you probably never will? Right? So it's kind of like you're being very clear about how much you want to tell them. And I'm feeling that there's something also about standing your ground this week. There may be something really important about really trusting your own experiences, because it may be something where you may not have another person's support, or you may not have other people backing you up on a certain choice or decision. Like, especially when it comes to relationships, like if it's a family member or something and you're kind of setting your boundaries or you're cutting something out, it could be that the rest of the family doesn't agree with that decision. So something like that, there's going to be this empowerment to you this month. I'm not seeing you struggling with it necessarily where you're confused about it, but I am also seeing that Spirit is urging you to make a solid stance on where you stand with another person. Just be very clear about your boundaries. Because I'm sensing that when they sense weak boundaries, it's like they feel like they can come around and snoop and you spy and kind of see what you're up to, and they feel entitled to to information about you. And so just make sure that you're clear about that they don't have that entitlement, and that it's not okay for them to just have access to you or information about you whenever they want. So that seems to be a pretty important message for you this week as well. So really beautiful. And it also kind of feels like you have some really cool things going on the side. Not on the side, it actually feels like it's the front and center in your life. But what it is that it feels like there are some things that are still being created, like it's not ready yet, it's still incubating. And so you don't want again, like you don't want that to get tainted. You don't want it to get messed up. Like you want to really make sure that you're protecting this thing that you really find precious or important to you. So, and I think that message is going to come across loud and clear for people, and it may kind of take someone aback, you know, like where they feel that, oh, like, wow, you know, that's a pretty strong boundary, and I guess I can't mess with that, right? Like I feel like, Scorpio, you're going to be someone that people see as someone not to be messed with. So awesome, Scorpio. I love the empowerment. Thank you so much, Scorpio. I hope you have a good week ahead. Moving on to Sagittarius. Okay, Sagittarius, what do we have coming up for you this week? September 6th to September 12th. What do we have coming up for Sagittarius? Wow. All right. Moonlight, follow the leader. Wow, okay. There's all these cards that are just... I really thought there was just a Moonlight card, and then underneath that there was another one, and then another one, and then Poem Collector, and then this one wants to come out. Okay. So lots of cards here. So Sagittarius, it feels like you're doing some inner work. It feels like you are definitely kind of going through the past. I always love this card because this is always about, you know, reconnecting with things from the past that we might have forgotten about, things that we haven't really thought of in a long time. So be prepared this week for illumination, for things to kind of, you might remember things. I'm seeing that you're kind of spending time with yourself. You also may be spending time with a coach or mentor, someone to, it kind of feels like you're in your sacred space right now. And it could be something where you're dealing with something on an emotional level. You're dealing with some heavy stuff. And I feel like you kind of need some sacred space to work through some things, to sort through some things. And I kind of feel like as well, Sagittarius, you might be also working with, you know, someone to kind of help you, like hold your hand and help you go through a journey and to kind of find your way home and find your way back. And I do see that there are people around you. I know you have the solitude card, but I do see that you have people around you, but it kind of feels like these people are also kind of in the solitude place. And I know that in your monthly reading, we had a lot of healing cards, and that was going to be really important. So I think that Sagittarius, it's really important for you to dedicate this week and maybe even this month or even a couple months from now as well to really set aside that space to just heal. It really kind of feels like you need it right now. I'm hearing it's unhealthy to keep running on empty is what I'm hearing. So it's like you're going to just, it's just going to exhaust and burn you out. And you maybe even be at that place where you feel a bit burned out. And that's why you're in this place of refuge. You know, you're in this place of needing to sort through some heavy stuff. And so this week, be prepared for new revelations or insights coming up to you. You may remember some things from your past, some things that you've long forgotten about, or some things you might have repressed for a while. And you're going to need some space to yourself. You're going to need a sanctuary for yourself to process and to heal and to be in tune with the truth of a situation. And I think that what I'm hearing is a slow drip. So allow it to happen slowly, because sometimes if we kind of look at stuff all at once, it becomes incredibly overwhelming. And now I'm feeling a bit dizzy. So it may just be something that you need to slowly allow yourself to, like, one step at a time, work through things. You don't need to just jump into healing and be like, okay, I'm healed now. You know, I want to get this over with and just move on with my life. I don't feel like you're in that place. I feel like you're more in a place of needing to take your time with this, with what you're working through, and allow yourself to, like, just take it like one drop at a time and not put pressure on yourself to just heal everything at once. So this is a time for self-care. This is a time for self-love. This is also a time for leaning on like-minded people, or people who are kind of experiencing the same things as you. Or people who can help you, kind of guide you through. I feel like with the Follower of the Leader card, it's It's more about following a guide, and following their lead in like, what's the next step that I need to take, that kind of thing. So very interesting. Let's pick out your power animal here. What is Sagittarius's power animal for the week of September 6th to September 12th? Yeah. Okay, wow, so many cards for you, Sagittarius. This is beautiful. Okay. Dear Spirit, bring a gentle touch. Yes. Wow, I love it when all these cards just all match up with the message. So bring a gentle touch, trust the great mystery with whale spirit, and brown bear spirit is take time out. A very interesting message with whale spirit. I'm hearing that with whale spirit that there may be some things that are actually linked with something karmic for you. So some of the things that you could be dealing with is something that comes from like a past life, or something that comes with, like there's like some certain ties or certain really strong cords or attachments to certain people or experiences that brought with it very significant lessons. I'm feeling like there's this ancient energy with the whale spirit this time around for you, Sagittarius. So there's something about something very old and something ancient and something that just almost kind of like, for some of you, there may be something that just keeps reappearing in your, like, maybe for some of you who are aware of some of the past lives you've had or have insight into that kind of stuff, then you may find that you have like this pattern that shows up for you in every life, So there's like this deep healing that's taking place, that it's almost like there's certain cycles that are finally ending, or certain things that you finally kind of brought healing to. This could also be generational trauma. This could be something that gets passed down in the family, and you're the one to kind of bring all that to a close and saying it's going to end with me, and I'm going to change the trajectory of how this plays out from now on, which is incredibly brave, amazing, and it's not an easy path. I can feel it. Like this is not an easy path. This is heavy stuff, and that you're dealing with, that you're facing. And that's really commendable, because it's not something a lot of people do. It's not something that a lot of people take that opportunity to do. So to be able to do that, to look at the wounds, to look at, the things that kind of create these patterns over and over and over again, and to say, I'm going to be the one to stop this, is incredibly courageous and amazing. So I remember I once worked with a healer, and, she described it like a hot potato. It's like something that just gets passed down because no one wants to deal with it, and it just like keeps getting passed down and down and down. And so that's what I'm kind of picking up on. So this is pretty significant for you, Sagittarius. Really, really interesting. And then I love the deer spirit, bring a gentle touch, which is kind of what I was saying earlier with take it one day at a time. It's not supposed to be something that you heal overnight. It's not supposed to be something that you just get over, right? It's whatever it is that you're working through, just be nice to yourself and compassionate to yourself, and don't forget to validate, this experience and how strong it is for you to go through this, and to build up that self-worth and that self-esteem within you. And yeah, brown bear spirit, take time out. I mean, this is what it is solitude and brown bear spirit. It's being able to be in this space that you need, and it's just time for healing for you, Sagittarius, which is beautiful. I am being drawn to read the message for brown bear spirit specifically, so I will read the brown bear. I'm also hearing brown bear, and before I read the message, I'm also hearing to connect with Kuan Yin. I believe Kuan Yin is often associated with the brown bear, I believe. And so she's the goddess, Buddhist goddess of compassion, mercy. So she has a very gentle, healing, peaceful energy to her. And my channel is inspired by her. This is why I called it Peaceful Oracle, because I have a really strong connection with Kuan Yin. So, she's coming up for me right now. So I'm feeling like that might be for those of you who like to work with certain deities or goddesses, that might be a good choice, is Kuan Yin. It feels like there's like this very comforting energy, and there's this need to be in the heart space. So there's a very significant heart healing that's taking place for you. So, okay, so let me read the message here. There is a time to act and a time to focus your attention on patient strategizing. The arrival of brown bear spirit signals that you are best served by foregoing hard work toward your goals at this moment, and instead take the time out to meditate, or just take a nap so you can refresh yourself and begin planning what you want to co-create next. Come to know the lay of the land as you contemplate and imagine what you might do in this vast space of possibility before you, and begin forming a plan. Remember, sleep allows for dreaming and rest allows for clear-headed strategizing. How might you become the person you wish to be and experience whatever your heart desires? Insights will arise as you explore the possibilities and begin envisioning your plan. Knowing what you want will ensure you use your energy wisely in the days ahead. Be patient at this time, relax and be calm and peaceful so you can recharge. The call for action will come later. Yeah. Really beautiful message, Sagittarius. I think you're doing a great job of healing, and this is just going to continue that journey for you. So I hope this was encouraging. This message was encouraging for you. Okay, beautiful, beautiful message. Thank you everyone for tuning in to your weekly oracle reading, and I will see you for next week. Bye everybody.